We can talk about challenges with blended families and things that could damage could damage kids growing up, or ways to break cycles being blended families, healthy and unhealthy ways. You know, the works.
Okay. So let's talk blended families. We're in one right here, and you have one, and you've been Manny, right? Am I wrong?
Oh.
All right, so I'll kind of moderate, and you guys tell me what's the best thing about a blended family besides 2 Christmases.
Oh man, that was my line.
That was her hook.
That was totally my hook.
I stole her hooker. Wait,
What?
Sounds like you.
she's behind the curtain.
So I guess I'll start with this around being on both sides of a blended family. I have my dad remarried and my mom remarried, and so I had 2 step parents, one of which I still communicate with to this day, and another one that I haven't spoken to probably in 10 plus years.
So you speak to your former stepdad more than you speak to your mom in some cases.
That's kind of like me and E, though. You know?
You talk to her more than you talk to me? Is that what you mean?
I talk to her more than I talk to my mom. I see her more than I see my mom.
Well, yeah, that's because we are trying to convince you that what a good person looks like.
Or, you know, because I love E and I want to spend time with her, and, you know, I enjoy what she has to say and puts in effort to spend with the kids, and, you know.
She's a good person.
Yes, you did good.
She does good.
She does do good. You found a good one.
Because when you know better...
You know better.
You do better. I guess...
I'm putting that clip back in.
So, I guess for me, so I came from that of having a stepmom who had very traumatizing ways, which no harm, no foul to her. That's just how she was raised. It is a complete generational thing. But I never wanted to be that stepmom. And so now as I step into that role, it's a whole different dynamic. And so many things that I've learned of I didn't like from her, and how I can show up differently for all of you.
So example, when you said you didn't want to be like that, that's pretty easy to say, but you know, nobody likes their step-parent, except Perry and Mary and Tank. But
debatable on days maybe.
Yeah. But was it just personality, or was it some serious stuff?
It was, I remember at one point where it was, I don't remember how old I was. It was probably 13 or 14. And I was having a birthday party, and she just literally freaked out on all of us, freaked out on my dad, just left the house and was I'm just a kid. I don't know what's happening now as an adult. I'm oh, she was having an experience, and something that we did triggered her. To this day, I don't even know exactly what it was. I don't even remember what happened, but I just remember her freaking out on all of us and just leaving.
Did somebody shit on the birthday cake, or
no?
What?
I think that's the thing. I don't even remember. I just remember her being so upset and leaving, and my dad being oh, it's no big deal. I'll deal with her later.
That's funny.
And then also her giving me shit as a kid of having small boobs and just kind of being demeaning because her daughter was going through, her daughter got into so much trouble.
How old was her daughter compared to you?
She was 6 years older than me, I think. And so...
Was she taking bullshit out on you that she should have been directing towards her own daughter?
Yeah, because she was mad that I was a good kid.
How dare you?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
So, it's just a part of that dynamic, right? If you haven't done your work, and I was obviously triggering her, and she was having responses, that I've done so many sessions of therapy around issues with my stepmom.
True. How does that relate then to the next generation?
Me.
It's trying to not pass patterns on that I was instilled in, and also like showing them a different way of being in the world, and that I'm not trying to take the place of their mom. I'm trying to be a role model who they're like, oh wait, we don't have to be the way our parents are, or we don't have to continue these patterns. Because I think like you don't come from a blended family, and when I say you, I mean Tank.
That's me.
His parents
Sometimes I wish.
His parents have been married for what, 50 plus years?
50 was 68, so 56 years, something like that, 55 maybe.
Yeah, so like there were so many dynamics even coming into the relationship with you around like how do we handle this dynamic with the kids.
How does that work for you, P-Dog?
With you guys and me?
Sure, let's start there, and then you can, because you got it up and
The
down.
whole other side.
I do. I mean, when you guys first got together, I wasn't really around. This is when I was kind of either married, gonna be married, and just going through my own stuff. So I don't know about the early times, but once I started to like get to know you and become more involved, it was an adjustment for sure, because I wasn't ever really around when you were dating. I didn't really know anyone you've dated before.
There was nobody. I've just waited for Missy. Go on.
Yeah, I've heard.
We've heard all the stories.
It was an adjustment for sure, but the more I got to know you, the more I loved you. And I think now is probably, I think honestly the catalyst was probably the divorce and
Which one? Be specific.
my
Okay.
divorce. When I got arrested and I came to live here, like you and I and me and Dad all went through challenging things kind of like this of our own.
Yeah.
A triangle.
Yeah, totally.
The Illuminati triangle.
Yeah.
What when you say
Anyway.
we went through stuff?
Yeah,
what-
yeah, I'm going. But like you and I, you would do a lot of like body coding with me, and there was just a lot of pent up aggression and anger and frustration and all this type of stuff that would come out that even I didn't fully recognize everything coming out. And learning how to regulate that, be in therapy, you know, being frustrated that I had to follow these rules and guidelines to earn back something I never should have lost in the first place. It was hard. And I think that kind of helped me. I'm going to use an analogy of like when you have a broken bone, you have to like re-break it in order for it to heal correctly. I feel like I had these like set, I don't want to say programming, but like this set ways of who I was, and coming here challenged that. And there was a lot of resistance in the beginning. And once I kind of broke through the uncomfortability and stuff, I think that's where our relationship really blossomed. And now it's like I can just exist and not have to just say things or agree to things I don't always want to do. And I can set healthy boundaries without being like challenged about it. And I think that's something that I really value in our relationship, because it's like, I don't want to go to Dr. Ben's right now. I'm not feeling good. I'm tired. And you're like, perfect. See you when you want to. And that is such a new feeling, and I love it. Not saying you don't do it, because you do.
I was going to say, when you say not being challenged by speaking your mind, you're specifically talking about your relationship with Miss Alicia, because I challenge you
You
all
challenge
the time.
me all the time. I'm like,
Why do you think that is?
I think one, that's your role as my dad to challenge me and challenge my thinking, because I could rationalize anything, and that's just
You're pretty
who I
good
am.
at that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I want to say it's the Libra in me, but I also think that people pleasing is probably part of it. I think that's just your job, to challenge me and make me see things in a different perspective and want to be better. And yeah, it's just part of my growth, and we tiff it out, and we definitely...
Well, it's also my weakness as a parent. Like, I'm really hard on you because I never had the support of truly, fully being supported with who I am. So I'm still learning how to do that for you. Like, I've got it on lock logically. Tell me what you want and I'll help you figure it out. Logically, I'm solid. emotionally, I'm still doing my work. And so when you trigger me, I can't just go, oh, my daughter has triggered me. I'm going to go inside and figure what the fuck is happening? So I acknowledge that publicly here.
Kudos to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But yeah, the idea of trying to guide you, along with Miss Alicia's help, she guides me, I guide you, she guides you, you both guide me. What the fuck? Like blind, like, but we all have sticks and we're walking around going, you hear that? Is that a piece? Is that a truck coming? That's what it feels like sometimes, but I don't know if that's blended family so much as just dealing with parental trauma. Luckily, I've only had just the two that were just traumatized in and out, passing it down, and you guys have had a multitude.
Oh my God.
So what's the upside of having, that wasn't my original question, what's the upside of having all those different varieties?
So one thing I can say that I'm super grateful for both of my step-parents is I saw a different way to live life. Because obviously my parents came together and they had, like, they're very similar in many ways. If your guys are watching this, sorry, but it's true. And so it allowed me to see different perspectives. And it also, like, I met so many amazing people along my path that I would have never met if they hadn't have gotten divorced and had those split families. Like the Lovejoys and Chris and, like, just all of those amazing people in my life. Yeah, like, it definitely helped bring me out of just this little box that I was in, I guess.
Okay. What's your upside? That's good.
It's pretty similar. I think there's connections and people that I've met through all of Mom's marriages and dating escapades that I'm...
Sorry, through all of her marriages.
Well, it's just like there's...
What is she on? She's got...
Oh God, 4 or 5 at this
third
point.
marriage, right? Her third official marriage.
Is it?
She had you before I came along, but I was her first marriage. Then she got married to M.
Yeah.
And then I don't think she married anyone else. She had a couple of serious relationships, but then she married the abuser.
Yeah.
So I think it's just, I mean, I don't know her. It's been a
it
decade
sounds
or so.
about right. It just feels like more because I lived with her, so there was like this Rolodex of people, and I'm like, well, right? And your parents worked here, and I knew this through you, and you know, it's like, it feels like a lot more than there was, but.
That must have been great for Christmas.
Yeah, totally.
Well, and I think the other side of that too is with both of us having parents that were divorced, the dating that was happening between marriages. And I don't mean like affair wise, but I mean, it wasn't, yes, I had step-parents. I have step-parents. But it was like all the
trial and error.
Yeah, along the way. Because there was also trauma from that.
Oh, for sure.
As well. And just like, you get attached to somebody and then they're gone. And you're like,
it's
what
a heartbreak
the fuck,
for
Dad?
you, too.
Like, this person was awesome. And now
I have dated a few. Okay, I go back to the beginning. I actually did have a few attempted relationships throughout, which you weren't there for most.
No, I got the tea of them that they fizzled out pretty.
Oh, that's good to hear that. That was the story. Okay. The other two got to know a couple of them, but I was pretty cautious about that because I didn't really want anybody, what's the right word, meddling in my kids' lives.
Or even having access.
Yeah, I just... And that probably stunted my growth. Not that those relationships should have gone anywhere different, but it stunted my growth in how to deal with that. Like the second relationship I had was a pretty long relationship after your mother, and that person had a kid. And
taboo.
Yeah. Well, no, it was just, but to what you were just talking about was like, we'd spent a good amount of time together, and I had actually known this person for a long time, and when we had to part ways, like, I had some bad. I'm like, I feel like I'm leaving that other kid because we were all there. But Mary and Tank were like, those guys were fucked.
They were so awful.
That's what everybody. Yeah. You
to me, yep.
Well, but I think that you were experiencing general awfulness. We were trying to do a good job. Now they weren't perfect.
No, but the things after the catalyst in that relationship, the things that were said to me from that person was really hurtful for me being so young. I understand they were coming from a place of hurt, but me being 10 to 12, like that was not okay. Like I can't I can see both sides on why they said that, but it's like, you know, and I know they probably did their best and but again, like from your perspective being with that person and then my perspective being the child of this person's
That blended
partner,
family, yeah.
you know, I had different experiences that weren't always seen by the adults. And so it was just,
And for the record,
if we're talking about the same person, which I think we are.
yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it and I spoke to it, and one of the main reasons that I broke that off was because it was unfair and biased. And I was like, look, we can't do this. You can't have one set of rules for your kid and a different set for mine. Like, that just can't happen.
Right.
I'm getting an evil look from that one.
Well, it's true though. I mean, like,
Oh, totally.
you learn, like, because I think the first time dating someone with a kid, it's different because that bias is very real, and you have to
Yeah.
kind of learn to let go of that and be like, okay, these are our kids. We're a unit. Like this, they're part of our unit. This isn't
Yeah.
yours versus mine. This isn't, you know, like. So that was a challenge with my relationship after my divorce, my first relationship and only one, but like him wanting to parent the kids, but I'm like, you have such chaos in your life right now that I don't think you really need to be in a space 4 months into our relationship trying to parent my kids when you don't really know them. You know, like it's different when it's long term, but yeah.
I mean, the best advice that your dad ever gave me was don't ever discipline my kids and let them come to you.
I love that.
That was early on. Later on, I'm like, could you please handle this fucking shit? Because I just can't.
Yeah.
And that was a hard won lesson, but it was hard learned lesson. But I think it was critical. Again, logically, it made all the sense in the world. Logical, it was like, yeah, you're not replacing anybody. You're not in a position. You're not in a role. Like, you are with me. And if they want to, then like a dog, let them sniff your hand to make sure it's safe. Like,
Fair. It's a weird analogy, but it's true. Like, let them approach you.
but more, and I think the reason that was so critical to me was because of what meaning my children, had just come away from. The first and the second, like, there's two really bad examples, and if I try and push you guys to this, you're going to be like, what's this motherfucker about, right? Like,
Right.
and it was a challenge, and it was important to me that my kids knew that they were first, and then sometimes that causes challenges in our relationship, but fuck, I've got a legal obligation. They have to be first. Don't take that to the bank.
I'm in the same boat. What am I going to say?
Yeah, fair. Kids come first.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to mean that that's a destructive stance. That should be, in my opinion, especially when we're talking blended families, your own kids should come first. Because that shows a priority of personal responsibility. Now, if you say, look, I'm going to marry this person, or I'm going to be with this person, we're going to do the kid, like, fine, have a set of rules. But I just can't envision a chosen relationship more important than, and I chose that word, more important than your biological ones, or your chosen, you know, Perry's adopted for those. Did you know you're adopted?
No, I didn't.
What?
Well, here we are on the podcast. So
I think I'm entitled to compensation.
I'm going to put a lawyer thing. But like, I made that decision to have kids. It's a personal responsibility. And if I were to shirk that amongst our relationship, me and Alicia, then you wouldn't be able to have that safeguard no matter what we build.
Right.
That's how I see that. That's what I think the important thing of a blended family is knowing what the ground rules are. And it doesn't mean that you're more important or I'm going to always choose them, but it does mean I'm taking responsibility for my actions.
Yeah.
And if somebody's like, well, I have to come first, you're never going to, theoretically. Like, there's days where I'm like, no, Perry, we got plans. We can't come get you.
You're like, can't do it.
Right, but as you were younger,
Right.
the kids' needs had to come first. Otherwise, you're literally violating the law by not taking care of your kids. And that's just something I don't like doing.
And like, I mean, I knew that because I had always said, I don't want to be with somebody who has kids. Here I am 8 years later.
How the tables have turned.
How the tables have turned. But because I have that relationship with my dad where for the most part he did always put me first, but there were times that he didn't, and that did traumatize me.
Right.
And so to see you do that, like I knew you as the man that you are, that you would always put your kids first. Like your role in life is as a dad. Like that's your number one thing. And so like I had to get past my own shit and be like, do I want to be in this relationship knowing that this is the way that it's going to be?
What's the answer?
Well, I'm still here, right?
Didn't quite answer. And I'm grateful you did the work, because I don't think it means what it means on the surface to most people. Most people look at it like an equation and they try and solve for X, like who's most important. That's not how it works. It's not a linear equation. It's clearly I don't know calculus. My PhD is in metaphysics, but
All right.
the point is that it's not a linear equation, and it's not always a logical answer. It's who needs the emotional support most right now.
Yeah.
And sometimes it was Perry who wasn't in the house. Sometimes it was Tank. Sometimes it was Penny. Sometimes it was Mary. Sometimes it was you. Sometimes it's rarely me. But that's what makes it, I think, not just trickier, but more valuable when you solve for it. Like a blended family can be really freaking powerful.
Yeah, it definitely can. Because, like, not my biological child, but girl, you trigger me in ways that help me move
It's
through
my superpower. What can I
It
say?
totally is. But it helps me move through my processes in an even deeper way. And I think it, like, as a family dynamic, it makes us stronger.
Yeah, for sure.
And, like, you have so many different aspects of the blended family.
Oh, I thought you were going to say so many different aspects of triggering mechanisms.
Both.
Superpower.
Yeah.
But just as far, like, because you have step siblings, or not, wait,
Half.
no, half.
You have
yeah,
half, yeah.
siblings.
Do you consider your brother and sister half? Yeah, they're like full
They
on.
said it one time, and I was like, I will put you in jail if you say that again. That's disgusting, and I hate it. No.
But what about little Henry?
No.
Or young Henry? You
Little
consider-
boy, baby Henry,
Baby.
hen.
He's not little anymore from what I understand.
No, he's a freaking beefcake. Big
Okay.
old kid. Yeah, he's
Okay.
like as tall as me. No, I don't believe in half siblings. Just me, no judgment who does, but I don't believe, like, we're family. That's it. Like, I don't believe have family genetic. No, it's a smorgasbord in our family. Like, mom has babies with,
Whomever.
yeah.
Finger tuck.
So yeah, it's cool. She's got me with someone, I don't know if I should tell this story. I probably shouldn't.
Well, the cat's out of the bag, so.
Well, she smoked weed once, had sex, and then boom shaka, here I am. And then
That's a lovely story. I'm not sure it's true.
she told me.
I know what
Oh,
she.
yeah.
Let's just analyze that statement.
Whatever, we'll
She
keep it because
told
it's
me.
colorful. That's
Okay,
fine.
fair.
And then you and her get married, and then boom shaka, 2 siblings, and then
One at a time.
and then later on she finds this guy who's oh so great for her and has a baby right as soon as I get out of the mental hospital. And she's like, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, I'm 15 and want to die, but okay, cool.
Let's make this about you, Mom.
Yeah, like, hi, welcome, thank you for the welcome back, but yeah, and I love Henry, and he's like incredible and super smart, and him and Tank are like both amazing at golf, and it's like super cool to see like how he's grown. And so yeah, to turn a very long story short, no, I don't believe my siblings are just half. I think we're family and a unit, and that's that.
Okay, so I have a question then. Because it sounds like that explanation is like, again, saying this isn't a linear thing. It's not, you can't solve for X.
No, it's complicated and deep. There's no
It's ugly, it's messy.
Right.
So what's the biggest downside then?
I think it depends. I think there's people who don't try hard enough in blended families, and
I'm
that
sorry, what?
people who don't try hard enough.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't trying. Go on.
Okay, yeah, people who don't try hard enough in blended families, and I think that does a lot of damage and can cause feelings of like rejection and feeling less than and feeling like not chosen. Like if you pick a partner in that situation where you think your parent is choosing their partner over you. That's how I felt, and that fucked with my self-esteem, my self-worth. And I found people who made me feel like that, and it almost became like this game almost to like prove I'm good enough. And like once I got that validation, it felt like a hit of like something really good, and I would just chase that. So I think in these dynamics, you need to have everyone kind of, kids excluded, but the adults in the relationship and in the blended families all on the same page and like willing to, you know, I guess meld, like do what they need to do to make that dynamic okay, healthy, and work.
But what does that mean? Like if you can't if you left somebody because you couldn't get along and you've got a kid with them, now you're with somebody else, how do you go, hey, by the way, we're all going to try together?
It's hard because I feel like that's kind of how it is right now with me, Randy, and his partner.
Right? So how do you, based on what you just said, which was, you all have to do it for the kid.
I didn't say it like that.
Yeah,
it wasn't like,
I'm
oh, kumbaya.
But that's the point, though, is the kids are more important.
Yeah.
Than any of the adults. How do you even manifest a plan?
I don't think there is a plan, really. I think it's more so like going with what the kids need and keeping things, whatever your dynamic looks like. If you guys are able to be cordial and that's as far as you can go, be cordial. But if you are able to share time together in certain events like kids' graduations or kids' performances or like
sporting events or whatever.
Right, like any extracurriculars, and like being able to like coexist and be kind and show kind of that healthy, like, you know, it's not mom and dad, or I'm sorry, mom and mom versus dad and stepmom. It's not us against each other. We're all here collectively for you, you know? And that was a thing a lot with mom. She would always be like, your dad did this. And it's like, I'm 24. Can you stop? Like, I don't care. I truthfully don't care that you're still mad at dad. Like, I get it. You can hold a grudge. Grow up, you know? Like, and it always became this like, well, what kind of fun stuff did you do at dad's? Because we have plans to do this. And I'm like, that's great. I'm sure they're going to come true and I'm sure it's going to happen. But
sarcasm noted.
So stupid. But it's just like, I don't want them to ever feel like they have to like demean their dad for my benefit to make me feel better. And it, like, that competition is like something I'm very conscientious of. And
but I'm gonna interrupt you because you've told me that you hear that happening on the other side.
For sure.
So I have a question for both of you. Like, how do you, from either the parental perspective or the child side, how do you handle when somebody talks mad shit?
I can tap in real quick.
Go ahead.
And the parental side, especially because Bella's a lot more curious, and she'll be like, well, dad said this. And I'm like, how old are you? And she'll be like, 6.
I'm sorry. That look on your face. How old are you?
And I'm like, how old are you? She's like, 6. I'm like, is this your job to worry about? Is this any of your business? And I'm like, she's like, no. And I'm like, all right, let's go do this. Let's go. And I like redirect because I'm like, feeding into it and giving it attention is just going to make her feel like, oh, well, mom said this. And no, don't worry about it. How about you go clean up the crap mess you made in your room, or go play with your Play-Doh, or go get something to snack on. Like, I redirect it and really try hard not to give it attention. And then later I'll go in my room and I'm like, stupid. But, you know, I won't do it in front of them. And Kendall just does not give a shit. She'll be like, oh, Bella will be like, yeah, dad said this. And Kendall's like, yeah, and let's go do this. Like, she's...
Where's the cat? I'm going to throw something.
But yeah, for kids though,
I feel outwardly my parents did a pretty good job of not talking crap about each other, but I could still hear my dad and stepmom, like, after I had gone to bed at night, or like if we were on a road trip and they thought I was sleeping, like talking about my mom.
Oh.
So there was definitely that aspect of it, of like, which is a pattern throughout my entire life. I feel like we say one thing, but we do something different, and like it's kind of hidden behind the scenes sort of, but it's not really. And then I like my system as a little kid is just like, what is happening? Because something is being said this way, but then it's actually, this is what's happening. So it just feels very inauthentic and confusing.
So now as an adult.
Yeah,
and
I've gone
doing your
through a lot of
work-
therapy.
Yeah. So therapists, pay attention. We're your ideal audience. But as an adult, how important is it to solve for that? How important is it to deal with that right now?
I mean, I feel like when we were first dating, and if there was ever conversation around their mom, and I would be like, we're not having this conversation. Like, we're not talking about
That's why we
this.
started with, hey, that whore, did I ever just say? I never did that. Just here on this podcast.
Oh my gosh.
I
But
didn't.
like, I was
didn't.
very much like, I don't want to be part of these conversations of talking shit about anybody.
Well, so I'm going to ask you, did you think I was talking shit?
I mean, you guys had conversations around it, but also I think that was like ways that, in some ways, like it was,
Releasing that anger.
yeah, like the way that you guys were able to process through whatever was happening. And,
Yeah, because by the time you came around,
and
it was well established how the kids felt about their mother and what my rules were under my roof. So I don't think there was a lot of smack talk. You heard a lot of, you were jumped into a longer part of the progression of the healing that we've been doing, which was more honest talk. So I can imagine it sounded like
yeah.
negativity or bashing. We got that out of the way before you showed up. So, but actually that was, the point was I didn't allow that from the get. Like, is that your experience? Would you say that's a fair?
Yeah, we
Okay.
wouldn't talk shit, but I can see from an outside perspective how it probably came across as bashing, but also because a lot of the shit that happened with our mom was already bad. So talking about it and having that like frustration, anger, and hurt behind it probably sound really fucking loaded.
And some of it was pretty rough, and it's like you can't talk about it without just having this.
Yeah, you can't be like
"Ew."
love and light. It's like, that was fucking dumb and that was irresponsible and that hurt my feelings. And like, it's human nature to be, upset and angry and frustrated. And us being like younger and probably even younger when the girls. I mean, yeah, no, Tank is not.
Oh, I see who you're talking about now.
Well, at first I like fucked up with the girls, but I meant Mary and Tank. But yeah, even like them being younger, probably when I was still at mom's and you guys talking about it, being so small and young, trying to navigate those emotions probably was hard to articulate. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you all independently and individually had traumas that I had to identify and approach differently.
Yeah.
And you all had your own therapists and you all went through your own process. Like, that was the bulk of my day.
Yeah.
And we got to a point, which I know what you're talking about, some of the stuff you're like, I don't like this trashing. By that time it was like just real talk. Like, I would not allow the bashing. So I'm not trying to cover my ass. Yeah, I can call her a hula now. But she's just mentally got serious problems and won't address it. She's got mental issues and she needs help. Like, I have nothing but compassion for that. I wish she would. Otherwise, her husband's probably going to beat her to death one of these days.
Waiting for the call.
Yeah.
Allegedly, it's on paper at this point.
It's in the court records, which is the sad part, right? But how do you talk about domestic abuse and make it sound like flowers and rainbows?
You call me when you figure it out. There's no fucking way.
That's the point. So the upside is, if you can, we'll just call it coexist in a blended family, the better you can do, the better it is for the next gen. Because that's really the whole point. It's not
It's not for you.
What's that?
It's not for you. When you're doing it, it's not for you. With blended families and kids, you're doing it for the kids. There's no real benefit to shooting the shit with your ex, really.
When you say shooting the shit, do you mean like attack, or do you just
No,
mean,
no. Just like
chit-chat?
just existing. Like, you're not just gonna go hang out with your ex and be like, yeah, hey, it's like, it's for the kids.
Well, I would argue that, I mean, I've seen couples where they break up and then some time elapses and then they're friends, like, because obviously they got together for a reason. And I've seen this with other people. It's like, you can
Without
have,
kids?
with and without. It's like, yeah, we've got a relation, we had a relationship, we still do because we still have kids, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You can still be a good person and shoot the shit. But I think your point, if I heard you right, was that's not the primary objective. I'm not here to shoot the shit. I can shoot the shit because we're both here for the kids.
Yeah, I guess I'm speaking from my perspective.
You're a little fresh in it.
Yeah.
If you read the first or second podcast episode with her, then you'll notice that her divorce is fresh.
Yeah, buckle up, people.
Yeah. So Miss Alicia, your parents get along a little bit now.
I mean, I feel like once I started going to therapy I was going to therapy as a kid, but as an adult, when I started going to therapy and processing parental wounds, I feel like that's when I was having deeper conversations with my dad about just experiences that I was having with the ways that my mom would trigger me. Because there's a whole nother element too with that mother-daughter bond and
Yeah, for sure. But what about your parents together? Do they chit-chat amongst each other?
No. They live in clear across the country from each other now.
True.
No distance is long enough.
I mean, yeah, they if we're doing... the last time I saw them together was for my grandmother's funeral. And there was a whole drama thing around that shit. So...
So here's the thing I want to point out about...
But they can be.
Right. Well, I was going to say, your dad and your stepdad are like two peas in a fucking pod.
Well, ex-stepdad.
Okay.
Because both of my step-parents are ex-step-parents now.
Right, but that's... So we're talking about...
Didn't learn the first time, did they?
See why I have issues around marriage? It's for a whole nother podcast.
You and me both, sister. I'm like, never again.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe once we're 15 years in, 10 years in.
We're halfway there.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's okay. What else is important about blended families? So obviously it's about the kids, dealing with your own stuff. Is there any upside to... I mean, I see one clear upside, and that's getting out of a shit relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
That's beneficial. Is there anything else that you see as... I mean, do relationships have seasons?
I mean, I definitely feel like it's really good for kids to see that that the parents don't have to stay in a bad relationship. If there's a lot of fighting...
Could you call my parents? Oh, go ahead. Oh, snap.
Shit.
I mean, that you don't have to stay in that and that you can find something different. Because again, I had 3 different intimate...
So you had 3 different models.
I was able to see 3 different models and the growth that was able to happen within that of seeing how relationships can be different. Instead of staying in one set of model for
You're pointing at me. What? Explain what you mean. Be clear here, woman.
Well...
Oh, you mean my parents?
Yeah, your family dynamic. That was the only thing you ever knew. That was the only thing... Besides your external relationships, what your family dynamic was normal.
it appeared normal because it was all I knew. It was the status quo. It's pretty far from fucking normal. What about you? Do you see have any other additional benefits on the outside of it? That face says it all.
Again, I'm still new in this, so I'm not totally sure. And also,
Well,
like,
then what do you hope for? That's a great point. What do you hope for out of this? What do you expect in the long run your relationship with the kid's dad to be like?
I hope that they can. I hope they grow up without any sort of influence from me about their dad. I hope that they feel safe to come to me and that we have a safe, healthy dynamic that they just feel comfortable with me, irregardless of what happens with Randy. And
Can I counter that as your dad? Can I give you some parenting advice?
Sure.
What I just heard you say, and correct me if I'm wrong, was you want them to grow up without any essentially feedback on how to think about their dad. I think that leaves them to the wolves.
Why? Because
they're 5 and 6 right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're little sponges. They will see, hear, and experience things that they don't have context for, and their tiny little brains will make up context, which will almost inevitably be wrong.
Okay, let me rephrase.
Please, why don't you rephrase?
Let me rephrase. Because I grew up with such influence from mom about you not wanting me, and that's why she got me in the divorce. That fucked with my psyche for a long time.
Which wasn't true for the more you know.
And then saying that my birth dad didn't want me, and that's why it was so easy for him to sign away his rights for me. Like, having those influenced, biased, angry things spewed at me hurt me a lot. And for me, having that, I wish I had an unbiased of like, did you have fun at dad's? What kind of fun things did you do? Oh, this happened at dad's house. Okay, let's talk about it. Like, it keeps it open-ended than it rather me coming across like I have some sort of an agenda to paint Randy a certain way.
So I'm going to, on live recording, I'm going to ask, what is my perspective of your mom from your perspective? What do I think about your mom?
That she's mentally ill and that she's not making a choice to be better. And, well, no. I think, and I hate when you say this because it just does, I think it is such a cop-out. But you say that she does the best she can and that she's mentally just not all the way there and she needs help, but she's not getting it.
So, okay, I was going somewhere. Yes, that's pretty much it. But is there a better potential alternative? The only other thing I could do would be to talk shit and say she's a horrible person or she's a bad person. I could only go negative, or I can go 100% neutral and go, she's got some mental issues, which means it's not her fault. It is her responsibility. It has nothing to do with you. It's the most neutral thing I could do because you can argue it and you've got to work through that. That's your work. But it doesn't put me in the line of a bias, positive or negative. I don't say she's good. I don't say she's bad. I say she's got issues.
No, and I don't think that you give a bias. I don't think you give a bias, but I think that you gave her an out. And that's what pissed me off so young when you said that first, because I was like, saying that she's doing the best she can is such a load of bullshit because I was there. I was the one who was alone all by myself for years, my formative fucking years by myself, going to soccer games with some nanny I didn't know because mom chose everything else but showing up for me. And hearing that's the best she could do, I don't want to cry on camera.
Well, hold on. Let's pause for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not keep it emotional. Let's put this in the realm of logical. What if I'm going to ask you two questions. One, what if I'm right? What if, because of her mental illnesses, plural, fucking plural, what if that is the best she could do? And it got you here, you got safe with your kids, you got a great relationship.
Here.
It, meaning the situation, like that assumption got you here. Okay, what if that's the case? What if it wasn't the best she could do? What the fuck does that do for you? What potential upside does that have? And I'm going to spin it in a second, so careful what you say.
I think if saying that that wasn't the best she could do, it would take away the opportunity, and this is going to sound kind of fucked up, but it's true. And
Say it.
I think saying that if you were to say that that wasn't the best she could do and that's just what she chose to do, it puts the blame on her rather than just letting the blame just sit in this like purgatory of just she did the best she can. Well, that's the cards you were dealt. And it's like, okay, that doesn't give me any sort of closure or comfort.
But
I know.
She can't give that to you.
I know.
Well, hold on. Here's where I'm going with it. Is you've got two littles. What if they don't like how you worked? And in the end, they're like, my mom this, my mom that, and boo this and boo. Like, are you not doing the best you can?
Right now, yes, I'm doing the best I can. But
well, hold on.
It's my responsibility as a parent to always work to be better, to give them better, not just sit in this comfort zone of, well, it's the best I can do.
But that's a judgment on a judgment. The judgment that I'm staying at is, if it's your best, you learn when you can, you do when you must, and you fail when you have to. Your best is your best. Like, best is pinnacle, top, there's nothing above it. To say, I'm doing the best I can now means, well, there might be, that's not your best.
No, we've had this conversation before. We've had this conversation where you can be doing the best with what you have at the moment.
That's all I'm asking about.
Right, but you're saying that there's this line saying that the best you can right now means there's room here. Yes, there is room. There's always room.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying that let's get rid of that room. Let's say the best you can is the best you can. Full stop.
I don't like that.
I know you don't. And I think this is part of the healing, because at the end of the day, if your kids don't like how you raise them, what other stance can you have other than, it was the best I could do at the time? Because if you know better, you do better.
Right. But for me, I would say, instead of using it as like, well, I did the best I could, I would like listen and...
You're talking about how?
No, wait, I had somewhere. That's not what I was gonna... I don't know. It'll come back, hopefully. Damn it, it was good.
I'm sure it was. I'm putting a trap on you right now, because what you're exhibiting is judgment upon your mom.
Yeah, and there's anger. I know there's probably some bias in there. Not probably. There is bias.
And the whole point of a blended family is to look at the other perspective and use
Yeah,
it as
yeah. She's had so much grace. And look, yes. Yes. Shit. Okay, blended families, but that one.
That's not fair.
I know it's not. I'm tired. I'm tired of being the bigger person in a with having mommy issues. It is so hard being the bigger person for someone who is supposed to be that for you. Not be the bigger person for you, but be like...
You should never have to parent your fucking parent.
I know. It's just...
Well,
I don't want to give... USA, yeah, cool.
So, Miss Alicia, step in. You've got something to say here.
No, like, yeah, totally.
So...
What are you saying here?
Well, this kind of rolls into another topic, just around mama drama and the parenting aspect of it, and having that emotionally absent mother who's not able to provide what you need. And again, like, does the best that she can with what she has. And I feel like when we can get to that place of she did the best that she could, but I'm going to do even better. And I'm going to grow from what I've been through, then you can start to heal that. Because as long as there's that anger and that
animosity and frustration
and
judgment.
All right.
Yeah.
No shade.
No,
but that's what this makes.
Whatsoever. But I literally am just seeing the patterns in the last week of how judgmental both of my parents are, and how I have bonded with them on that, and how I have bonded with you on the judgments that we make about other people and how easy it is to judge other people.
Sorry.
I'm feeling attacked.
I'm
No,
not trying to attack you.
No, I'm
but
kidding. You're right. Like, it's easy to judge and it's easy
But-
to bond over that, for sure.
Yeah, it's so easy to judge other people, but we've never walked in their shoes. And at what point do you just have to go, I have my boundaries and this is who I want to be, and is that person going to play in my realm, or are they not going to play in that realm? And as adults, it comes back to taking that responsibility of, how am I going to, do this different, and how do I want to show up for my kids, and what does that experience look like for me? And again, I say this all the time, doing the work around it.
Well, yeah, and doing the work is an important thing, but it's also, there's a level of acceptance that has to happen before you can do the work.
True.
And I'm going to look back over it this way to the other one and go, it seems to me, just because I happen to know you, that there's certain things you still don't accept, because your other two siblings, two of them, how many ever you might have different levels, but they have a deeper level of acceptance of your mother's issues. And that gives them a lot more peace around it.
Mm-hmm.
One is like, don't care, fuck off. And the other one is like, yeah, I get it. She's not capable. This is a problem, whatever. I wish it's that, but it doesn't affect me.
Mm-hmm.
It does affect both of them.
Right.
But they're quiet about it. And they're doing their work and they're taking their therapies and they're doing their stuff. You're still raw because the lies and the manipulation, you don't seem to accept as lies, manipulations due to mental illness. You think it was a personal attack. And I would just challenge you to think, what if that was her best? What if that were true? Because you still don't seem to want to swallow that. But I'm saying try it on, put it on as a hat. Try it on for a minute or two. And then take it off, throw it in the trash, stomp it, curb it, whatever.
So I think, honestly, an open trigger that I have from her stems from me being conscientious to not put that shit on my kids and seeing them do certain things. Like Bella broke a dish this morning. I know. So I asked her to clear the dining room table, and I was like, don't grab all the dishes, grab what you can carry, because otherwise the dish is going to break. What'd she do? She grabbed all the dishes, broke them. Instantly.
Wow, you're psychic.
I know. It's almost like I know what I'm talking about sometimes. She broke it, and she was like, her face just got flushed. She was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, Mom, and I was like, I'm not worried about the dish. We can get more dishes. I'm worried about the fact that I told you, like, we need to take only what we can carry and then go back and get more. It's not a race. But in that moment, like, I didn't have space to do that at Mom's when I was younger. And when I would do something wrong, I would get snapped at, yelled at, ridiculed, shamed, or something. And even as a teenager, I had that fear, like I saw in Bella's face, of like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? Like, I just made a huge mistake. And I think part of that anger, like I see it and then I'm like, why couldn't she? Like, it's challenging to catch yourself, but it's like, why couldn't you? And then you get the excuse of, you did your fucking best. You're 40, whatever, how old you are, and making these horrible decisions still.
You're not talking about your daughter anymore.
No. My child's so sweet. No, I'm talking about the person who raised me. But, like, I'm trying not to allow myself to have excuses. I'm flawed. I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I'm definitely learning. But, I'm aware, and I know that I don't want to do the things that I've had done onto me to my children. And that's where that anger is, like, coming from. It's not just the fact that, like, oh, I miss my mom. Like, yeah, I miss my mom, but I think I'll always kind of miss her. But it's like, I get kind of flashbacks when the kids are, they're getting older and they start doing things that I can kind of remember doing. And I'm like, cool.
Well, and part of that too is your own inner child work. of how, because it can trigger your inner child of like, oh my, and this is why I think so many patterns are passed down, is because adults haven't done the inner child work, and that inner child in them is jealous of that your actual physical child who you're
giving grace to.
yeah, and you're showing up in a different way of like, and those experiences may be happening so that you can almost work with your inner child in those moments and be like, hey love, like I'm here, like this is how I want to parent you now. And we have to take that responsibility of being our own inner parent and working with our inner child to no longer show up as that 5-year-old in a 39-year-old's body.
So I totally agree, and I want to add an extra layer to that. And this is kind of in the form of parenting advice. Because I see this so often. No, like this goes for, like I give this is parenting advice for everybody out there. So often parents do the opposite of what their parents did. So that's why we have that sway too far back. I hear you saying, well, I told you, I'm not mad that you broke this, I'm mad because you didn't listen to me, because you want to be listened to, therefore you want her to listen, and you're trying to get there. I think it's smart to do the work enough to see the opposite, but then come back halfway, roughly halfway, whatever makes sense. Because in that scenario, and I've had this, and I didn't do this, I see it now, but only because I've gone through it. My response, the healthiest version of that response for me is, you broke a dish, that's awesome. Now we know the limit you can carry. I don't want you to stop trying to push your limits, but maybe with dishes, that's not the place to do it. Maybe we see how fast you can run on the field, or maybe we see how deep you can dig in the playground. Maybe, I want you to push your, like, speak to, because that's what I think she was doing, was pushing her limits. How much can she carry? And those are the moments you have to encourage, but too often parents who just swing to the other side, they ground, they center, and they go, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Like that
was
bullshit.
spot on, yeah.
Right, like we miss an opportunity for the other 50% of the proper response of parenting. Not you, I mean that definitely would apply, but your kids are definitely going to push limits, no worries there. But there's an opportunity to go, this is what I want. But if I come back halfway, because it's the Buddha saying, like, if the strings are too tight, they'll break, and if it's too loose, it won't play. The path is in the middle. So whatever extreme we were brought up in, whatever resistance we have to that, it's finding that balance of going, what do I need to be safe? What do I need for them to be safe in failure? And that, sadly, is where I tried to land with the grace I allow for your mom, which is, she done fucked up. She did some horrible shit. Horrible. That means able to be horrid. But what I've had to come to is, no rational person would do these things. No healthy person would do these things. And then we look at her parents, and then we look at Grandma Mary. She was a just fucking saint. But everybody else in that family, so what can, like, it's literally the best thing I can do is go, she's psychologically damaged. And that's the pass that I give that you despise. Look at
I fucking hate it. I hate it.
But do you see the power in that? The power for you in saying, if that was her best, and I assume it goes back to this one thing, and then we should probably wrap up, so I'll give you guys last chance, I'll give you last word after I have this. I don't remember where I got it, but it was, accept the apology you're never going to get.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you've heard this from me. But when you do, that's got power beyond belief. But you can't just say it. This is not one of those logical things. This is a think approach. You got to feel, you got to embody the apology acceptance that you know you're never going to get.
Well, and it's also, think of all of the emotions and all the charges that you have within your system somatically that are locked in there and like holding all of this stuff into place. Hence why like doing the network is so important, is to be able to like start to unwind these things and really move through.
Untangle all of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts?
It's tough. It's hard, but we're doing it.
What, parenting? Living? What?
Co-parenting. That was the whole topic. No, not co-parenting. Blended families. Co-parenting and blended families. It's so hard, but it's worth it. Yes.
Any last words from you?
Life lessons, yo.
101.
I've been in this blended family for fucking years. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks.
And they never show me.
I never fucking get any bananas.